Hello everybody, this is Jim Kibler and I'm with Catherine here, and we're going to do a short video introducing a new product we're going to be offering for sale. And this is carving on our Woodsrunner Kit. So we've offered our Woodsrunner Kit rifle for about 6 months, and the new innovation is offering it fully carved. This is something that's very, very new. Nobody else has done this before on kit guns. We figured out a way to do it and do it in a beautiful fashion, and we're super, super excited to share this with everybody. So Catherine's going to probably ask some questions about this, about the carving and so forth, and I think it'll make for a little better video.
So is this is just on the Woodsrunner?
Yeah, this is just on the Woodsrunner right now. So we produce the Woodsrunner on some very sophisticated equipment that allows us to do this, and the other guns are not produced on the same equipment. So just the Woodsrunner, it'll only be available on the Woodsrunner right now.
Okay. Can you tell me about the style of carving that you did?
So this style of carving is incised carving. So incised means that it's a V line. So this is a V cut line. It's not relief, but it is cut. It's not laser engraved or anything like that. So it is cut carving, and basically indistinguishable from high quality incised carving work. And it has an engraving feel in terms of the shading, in order to produce the three-dimensional quality. And you sometimes see, well, you often see incised carving on original long rifle work, and you sometimes see more shading done on the work as well. John Knoll comes to mind with some of his carving designs. And it lends itself very well towards CNC production.
And how did you come up with the design elements in that?
So this is the design that I created, basically the same as I would create carving designs for any long rifle. So my background is making high-end custom long rifles, and this is designed just the same. It has a different production technique, but really the results are the same as would be on a very high-end custom gun. Basically wanted to create something that was very beautiful, something that had a lot of activity, something that had quite a bit of carving in a lot of different areas, and you know, had great flow, that that all the different areas fit together well, and that basically created a very aesthetically appealing product. My criteria is I create something that I like, you know, that's something that appeals to me. In the past, if I make something that appeals to me, and generally it also appeals to other people. I generally don't copy original work. I usually come up with my own designs, and this is certainly inspired by original work all over, but it's kind of a compilation that has you know, elements from various places, but is combined in a way to have you know, to create a unity, and all the different areas have harmony together, and create a very beautiful product in the end. So you know, it's basically equivalent to any high-end carving that I might do on a custom gun, and the difference is that we figured out a way to mass produce it without sacrificing any quality.
So is every gun going to be the same for like the next 6 months then?
Yeah, probably they'll be very similar. There will be small variations, because I look at these and I see areas that we want to adjust or tweak and maybe change a little bit here and there. Even between these two guns here, there's some small differences. I'll move this up here so you can see. So there's some small differences in the nature of the carving. So there will be some small differences, but it'll generally follow this pattern.
Offering different levels, someone had asked if you're going to have like different levels of carving, or if they get to pick their own aspects of it.
Right now, this is the design that we're going to have, and there's not going to be any real choices. Now that may change a little bit in time, perhaps. I know there's you know, a different style that I have have in mind. A simpler relief version is something that's probably going to be coming down the road before too long. But it's not going to be a lot of like customer gets to choose what they want. This is a design. I spent years and years, spent most of my life developing the ability to design long rifles and carve long rifles, and what you're able to do then is purchase that at a very, very affordable price without sacrificing any quality.
Can someone have their Woodsrunner that they've already finished carved?
No, it's only available with new purchases, and it's just due to how it's manufactured.
Because it's all in one, it's
yeah,
while it's being
so
made.
It's made all in one operation, and once it's carved, we can't, once it's made into gun stock, we can't put it back in the machine and carve anything. Okay. It won't work that way.
Is this just because you're a money-hungry businessman?
well, we like to make money. And I think most businesses do. That's just. If you want to run a successful business, you have to make money. But along with that, we like to do things that are neat and exciting and create beautiful things and create things that people like, things that make people happy. And I think that this is one of those. Generally, if I have created things in the past with custom work, and if it pleases me, it also pleases other people. So that's basically what we're doing. This really, in one perspective, is no different than just me making custom guns, but just using technology to mass produce them, and that's basically what it is,
What about the people that say, or the argument that says you're going to put all other gun carvers out of business and stop the art of carving?
There's a lot of people that like to do things themselves, and that's good, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes the process is important for people. Sometimes the final result is important for people, and both have merit. The people that want to do learn how to carve themselves, I applaud that. I've taught carving classes many times, and there's nothing at all wrong with that. And I don't feel any responsibility to offer certain things and not other things because it may influence the muzzleloading market, or I feel no responsibility there. I just want to make beautiful things that are available to people at an affordable price in a timely fashion, and allows them to be part of the high-end muzzleloading world, the long rifle culture. And in the past, it's been in some ways pretty exclusive, and this is just another step in bringing more people in.
So who's your target for this then?
Whoever appreciates it.
Yeah.
Some don't, for whatever reasons they may have, but the people that appreciate it is our target audience. Somebody that likes something beautiful, somebody that likes to look at something beautiful. So yeah, that's really the target audience, or somebody maybe even wanting to learn a little more about carving. In this case, incised carving. It can be quite difficult to do, but you can learn a lot from even just studying this.
What about future designs? What are you thinking about for next?
Yeah, so there will be some other variants. Probably a simpler relief carve version will be one. But it'll be considerably simpler, and it'll have appeal in different ways. So that's one that I have in mind, and there's going to be some options with some silver here at some point. So it's going to evolve over time.
Since you've done the carving on this, is it the kind of thing where you would put your name on the barrel, or
so you could, it's something to consider, and we're always thinking about things, and it's all this line of who's the builder. I want to make the customer happy. I want them to feel like they're part of it, which they are. Even finishing a gun like this, they're very much part of it. but then again, you know, it's it's becoming more and more my creation, you know.
What about how to finish it?
Yeah, so one thing great is our machines create a very smooth surface on the stock, so there isn't a large amount of sanding that's necessary. So you don't have to worry about raising the grain. In my experience, you know, we've done some experiments with this carving and stalks carved, and raising the grain is not critical. So we've gone over it with water-based aquaforta stains, and not noticed much compression of the incised lines or anything like that. So basically just light sanding and you'll be ready for staining. So basically just sand with, I'd probably start with 320, but maybe 220, and some Scotch-Brite. We also use some very fine wire brushes, like 5/1000 wire or 4/1000 wire. It gets down in the carving and kind of burnishes a little bit. That makes it look nice. So brushes can help burnish it and polish it up a little bit. I think aquafortis is, of course, the best stain there is. It looks appropriate, and you know, it has beautiful color, beautiful rich color. And this is carved in all the places that a fully carved rifle would be carved: behind the cheek, in front of the cheek, tang carving, lock moldings, toe molding, cone molding, forestock moldings. So it's carved in all the places. So we're joined here by Daisy, who is, believe it or not, a white dog that loves to run through a muddy field that you see out in front of you there, that's planted with oats. And she's a disaster, to say the least.
She's so happy though. What's your favorite part of the rifle
So
design?
I'm pleased basically with everything and how it flows together in a cohesive nature. That's sometimes something that's very difficult in designing carving. You can get one area to look, you know, a certain way, and another area maybe doesn't have that same feel. But I think everything on this rifle, we spent enough time refining it that everything kind of flows together very well, and I think creates a real harmonious package. So I think that's my favorite part of the carving.
Is this going to be an option on future guns that we come out with then too?
It may be. It very may be, and it'll probably be more of a part of our future kits. I expect it will be, because I think, you know, the idea that a kit only can have the stock shaped and that it can't have you know, decorative aspects done is kind of simple, and I think it just comes from the past. It just comes that it wasn't possible before we figured out how to do it. You know, nobody's done this before. This is brand new. This is something that's hard to do. You know, so you know, I think that it has a place, and I think sometimes it takes a while for people to accept it or realize it, to fully embrace it, I guess. But you know, I think it's going to be here to stay. It can be a little frustrating sometimes when there's change like this, that people don't always like it, but what we do is, we've built our business on, is pushing forward, and we know we believe we know what people want, and I think our success of our business has proven that, and we trust our gut, and we keep charging ahead.
Is it going to dramatically increase wait times?
No. So we put a whole bunch of work into this. You know, we're making them right now. So for months we've been working on this, months and months, trying to get it refined. It's not an easy thing to do, but we've got it refined now, and we can produce them fast. So right now, get your order in quick if you're interested, because we'll be able to ship it off to you quick as well.
All the typical wood options, still everything there?
We'll be more selective in the wood that we choose to run. So fuzzy wood that doesn't cut clean, we'll probably try to avoid. So probably the stocks that'll be carved will be a little harder wood. Sugar maple carves beautifully, so that's a great thing. Sometimes people that like carving prefer it on a little plainer wood, but it can look very, very nice on curly wood as well. But we'll probably be a little more selective in what wood we carve to make sure it cuts as cleanly as possible. You know, maple's a great choice. You know, we can carve the other woods too, but maple's certainly a great choice for carving.
Anything else that you want to make sure people keep in mind?
Well, we'll probably be adding this to some future projects as well. So future projects or future kit offerings will probably have more decoration included. For example, our Fowler we're working on will probably be carved around the tang and have some lock moldings like you see on quality original English fowling pieces. So that's something that you'll see a lot more of this in the future. You know, I think it's something that, you know, is going to take a little bit of time for some people to adjust to, but it's something new, and I think it's moving in a good direction, and we're going to keep on forging ahead.
Cool.
Do you have any other questions, Catherine?
I don't think so.
So if you're interested, they're going to be available for sale today. Visit our website and you'll see more information. So if you have any questions, let me know as well. Even though I may seem grumpy at times, I'm happy to answer. So let me know if you have any questions and we'll go from there.
So for those that say this is too perfect or too pretty, what is your response?
Well, you know, everybody can have their opinion, and everybody has their idea what appeals to them most. You know, there can be a whole range. There can be very refined work done on our long rifle, and there can be very, very coarse work done that can be fantastic as well. But either end of the spectrum, you know, needs to have great design and you know, thought behind it, and just coarse work doesn't appeal to me, or poor design, and a lot of what you see done today doesn't have very good design, and it's kind of rough work. So I think in some ways it's you know, it comes down to people feeling threatened a little bit, and think that a long rifle should be a little rough around the edges or things like that. And you know, if you like that, that's okay, but it's not exactly what I prefer. You know, I can appreciate coarse work, but it needs to be well designed too. So there's all different approaches to carving a long rifle. And I'd urge people to study original work. You know, that's something that few really do, and you can see the full spectrum.
I saw some comments online where people were saying that they could, you know, modify the carving if they wanted to.
So you could try. So this carving, some of this carving could be turned in with skill, could be turned into very nice relief carving. I wouldn't recommend, unless you're skilled, to mess with it, because odds are you're going to make it worse, just being honest. Yeah, so I'm going to finish one of these soon too, and you know, I think people will notice how it all comes together and looks fantastic. We saw the same response with our kits about being too perfect and so forth. You know, I think that sometimes people try to come up with a reason to not like something that's a little more palatable when it really is just more of an emotional concern they have. People don't like mass production, people don't like computers, people don't necessarily like CNC equipment. So I ask you to judge it by what it is and be honest with yourself.
Some people just don't like you.
Could be too.
I'm just kidding.
That's fine, you can put it in there. Okay.
Look at them. Look at Daisy. Daisy. I don't think I've ever seen her so messy. She's the color of the log.